So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an audio playlist. So go ahead here and click on add new shortcode. And this is the screen you'll see. So for shortcode name, put something. This is only for your use. So you could say, let's say you're having a Facebook course. So you can say Facebook audio playlist. So this is just so you can identify it quickly from the main shortcode screen and know which one is which one. So Facebook audio playlist, then content type. Click on this drop down, pick audio playlist player. These options will change depending on which option you choose. File source Amazon, or you could click CloudFront if you already set up CloudFront. That'll be covered in a different video. So bucket name, only if you're going to choose a bucket that's different, the main bucket. Okay. So if the main bucket you already put into the settings page, then you don't need to put anything here. It'll take the default bucket. But if you put the main bucket as something else and you want to use a different main bucket, not a subfolder, we're talking about a different main bucket, only then you enter something here. If not, leave this blank. So here, this is where now if you see this browse, this is something that's in version 10.0. So if you're using an older version, you won't see it yet. But basically you go, so whatever main bucket you entered into the settings page. So if you have a file here in that bucket, you enter that here. So obviously it's an audio playlist. So you want to enter only MP3 files. So you would use say test.mp3. What do you want to call the description? Let's say I want to call it just test1, right? And let's say I want to add more. So I click on that. Then I say test.mp3. Let's say test2, right? Add one more. So I can just keep doing that. Test3, test3. Okay. And then I come down here to audio playlist player settings. You want to check yes for this. Use advanced player options because they'll give you some cool options here for configuring the player. Title of audio, so you can call what is this collection called? So you could call it the Facebook marketing playlist, right? That this will show in the player. I'll show you in just a second. And then ideally use a artwork image here. So it could be a small 100 by 100 image. Make it square, and you could use any image, and I'll show you what the player looks like with and without the image. So the player color you can choose here from the whole color palette here, whatever you want, and then just leave it like that. Click outside the color picker, then title text color. You can do that, and then you come in here. You can say, do you want to show the speed icon? You want to show the download icon, you configure that and click add new shortcode. When you do that, you will see it'll get added to the top of your existing manage shortcodes page. So you see here it got added, Facebook audio playlist. It's a audio. What are the files here? It'll give you a quick overview here on this manage shortcodes page, and it'll also give you the shortcode. So if you take that and put it on a WordPress page or post, then this is what it will look like. So this is what it will look like if you do not have the artwork image. And this is what it will look like if you do have the artwork image. And going back to the shortcode. So what happens if the main bucket, let's call your main bucket as my folder. Okay. So you have the main bucket as my folder, and within the my folder bucket, you have a sub bucket or subfolder. So then what happens? We already saw that if the file is in your main bucket directly, then you just enter the file name, right? But if you have a subfolder beneath my folder, so if the structure is going to be my folder / new2 / file name, then you just enter the subfolder name / file name. That's it. And starting version 10.0, this becomes easier because now there's no more figuring out of the file names and spellings and copy pasting, nothing. So whatever main bucket you entered here, S3 Media Vault will allow you to browse that. So you can see, okay, these are all the files. There's a modules folder. All right. So if I wanted to enter this now, if you wanted to enter this directly manually, so what you do is, so modules is a subfolder. It's not a main bucket. Don't forget that. The main bucket is what you have configured in your settings page as the default bucket name. And modules is a folder, or basically a sub bucket inside that main bucket. So you have put in module slash. But if the files are directly, so when I click here, you'll see that. So this, for example, test.mp3 is directly in my main bucket. So if I click that, it just puts in the file name. So that's it. So if it is a direct file in the bucket, enter just the file name. If it's under a subfolder, put the subfolder name / file name. So if there's one more subfolder inside, so main folder / folder one / within that subfolder one / file.mp3. So you just keep doing that if you have folder within folder within folder. But you don't have to include the name of the main bucket because that's already entered in the settings.